What is good, YouTube? Back again with another Warzone video. In this Warzone video, I have 3 loadouts for you guys. These are gonna get you beaming everyone that you come upon in Warzone or Rebirth. Alright, let's get straight into it. Let's start off at the bottom of the list. We have M4A1 and MP7. For M4A1, you would use stock grenadier barrel. This gives you damage range, bullet velocity, recoil control, good for the medium and long range fights. I would use the GI Mini Reflex. Doesn't matter which scope you use, preferably mid-range ones. When going to rear grip, I would use the rubberized for the recoil control, because this gun has a lot of recoil, but you could fight it with the attachments. Then the round mag, I would go for 50 or 60. 60 is a bit too slow for me, so I just use 50 because it's the sweet spot. And then under barrel, I would use the Commando foregrip. This gives you recoil stabilization and aiming stability for the closer range, but also medium range. It helps a lot. I would also recommend the psych. I don't recommend anything. I would also recommend the Ranger foregrip for the recoil control and aiming stability. This gives you more of the pros, but a bit more of the cons as well. For the MP7, we have FSS Recon barrel. This will give you damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control. So this will help in the close range fights. Also some medium range, but I wouldn't use it for medium. Then we use the 5mm laser for hipfire accuracy and sprint to fire speed. The only con is that the laser is visible to enemies, so you have to use it wisely. No stock for the movement speed, 50 round mags, and we have recoil stable. We have the Commando foregrip. I would use Commando foregrip or Merc 4. I don't really use hipfire, so that's why I just stick with the Commando. Loadout number 2, we have the Growl and MP40. We're going to start off with the monolithic suppressor. For suppression and damage range, we have the Archangel barrel with damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control. For the underbarrel, we're going to use Commando foregrip, 50 round mags or 60, but 50 is my preference. Rear grip, we're going to use the R89. Rear grip, we're going to use the F-Tac for recoil control. You could also use this one, but I'm not one to use ARs for mid-range, so I would just stick with the recoil control. And then we have the MP40. Alright. For the muzzle, we're going to use recoil booster to shoot faster. It will boost your recoil, but that's not a worry for us. Then we have this barrel. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it gives you aim down sight speed, hip fire accuracy, aim walking movement speed, and sprint to fire. You're gonna have no worry breaking people's cameras in this. Then I would use a slate reflector. You could also use this one, but I like to have this optic. For stock, I would use VDD for the horizontal recoil control and aim down sight speed. Perks, you could use whatever you want, but I would use Nerves of Steel and the Quick. Rear grip, you could use Hatched, or I would recommend Polymer. Magazine, use the 45 round because it gives you more fire rate and more recoil control with some speed, but it does take off some damage. So what we do to counter that, we could use frangible. If you use MP40s for mid-range, I would use lengthened, but frangible works fine. Underbarrel, I would use the hand stop. You could also use this one if you want to hip fire, but I'm good with this. Next we have the NZ41 and Macro 5. We're going to use the MX silencer, Orb Weaver for the barrel. Optic 2.5, you could use whatever you want, maybe even reflector, slate reflector. Stock, you would use Orb Weaver E-Pack. Then we have brace. This is for initial firing recoil. If you want to, you could put frenzy on if you go up against 1v1s in this with using ARs, but yeah. Perk 2 we have weapon dexterity and aim down sight speed. This perk is very useful, but no one really knows what it does. Basically, it just switches your weapons faster. You guys know the amped perk is basically this, but just on one weapon. Then we have hatched grip, 50 round mag. You could use 40 for fire rate, but 50 round is fine. Lengthened grip, because the mag gives you less bullet velocity, so we counter that with the lengthened bullets. Then under barrel, I would use bipod. You guys could use the hand stop, but I usually use this gun mounted or crouched, so it just helps me. Macro 5. Macro 5, we get the recoil booster to shoot faster. Then we have this barrel. This is going to give you reduced weapon sway, flinch resistance, bullet velocity, and recoil control. I would use slate, but you could use whatever you want. Use the Bodhi HF folding stock. This is going to give you hipfire accuracy and all the speed you need in this game, no cap. And then perk, I will use frenzy and quick. Rear grip, you could use grooved. You could also use you could also use hatched, but I just want the speed for this gun, and it also gives you horizontal recoil control. And this, I will use mag. I will use 48 round. You guys could use this if you're more accurate, but if you're playing trios or something, you're gonna want to have a bigger round mag just so you can squad wipe. Frangible to inflict wounding, and then I would use hand stop. You guys could also use this one, the Carvier, but yeah, it's all up to preference. And that was the video. Guys. Smash that like button for more content like this. I will hook you guys up with the best loadouts. I have many more, as you can see, but I'm saving these for another video. Alright, see you.